Heat 24, numbers mean nothing. It's the A final. It's the one where they get the big money. It's the one where they get the honours, the champagne and the celebrations at the end. Commiserations for others, though. The rain is pouring down. It's held off for much of the night. The fans there, well, they're not too worried about the weather. They want to see their favourite win. Hans Nielsen, of course, the Dane on his own track. But Sam Ermolenko, top of the scorers. He has choice of gates. He's looked at 2 already. Inside, gate 2. Gate 3. Gate 3 back. Which one's he going to pick? The American. Top of the point scorers. 14 tonight. Yes, he's chosen gate number 1. Sam Ermolenko's going to go from the inside. Thomas Golob, the controversial Pole. He has second choice. Which is he going to pick? He's taken gate 2, right next to the American. Hans Nielsen is going to look at 3 and 4. Will he steer clear of the controversial Pole? Yes, he has. He's taken the outside to leave Tony Rickardsson as possibly the meat in the sandwich. It means Rickardsson has gate 3. Nielsen goes for the outside, where we saw him dive across so well early on. On the inside, Sam Ermolenko. Gate 2, Thomas Golob. So there we are. There is Thomas Golob at the tapes in gate 2. Sam Ermolenko's inside him. Tony Rickardsson is outside him. Hans Nielsen's right on the outside. Now, Hans Nielsen knows this track like the back of his hand. He's in his home country, 3 times a world champion. Tony Rickardsson is the current world champion. Sam Ermolenko is an ex-world champion. And Thomas Golob won the first Grand Prix, that in Poland. Here we go. The big race of the evening, the finale, the A final on the inside. Ermolenko in red, in blue. It's Thomas Golob to the front. Nielsen goes round the outside. Nielsen picks it up. Nielsen's in front of Golob. Golob's chasing him. Golob's going in there tight. Nielsen leads. Nielsen locks up. Golob comes wide. Oh, good gracious me. Thomas Golob is down. He's furious. He's furious. He's lying there now. Thomas Golob in a heap with his machinery. The race has been stopped. What will the referee do? He has the option to put all 4 back in. He has the option to exclude somebody as the prime cause of the stoppage. The fireworks are already alight here. Golob is getting up. His machine is picked up. He's sad. He's sorry. Peter, that was a problem for Thomas Golob.
Yeah, I think Thomas Golob speared Hans Nielsen here, and I think really he should be excluded there. I mean, he almost brought Hans down, and we've become to expect this kind of thing from Thomas Golob, but I don't think the rain is helping very much because the track now has become quite treacherous.
Well, there you can see Thomas Golob has heard the decision of the referee. He has excluded him from the rerun, which means it will now be with just 3 riders, the big guns. Hans Nielsen in the yellow helmet colours there, going from the outside. Inside him is Tony Rickardsson. Thomas Golob has Egon Müller, a former world champion, with him in the pits. There's Egon helping him and commiserating, but Sam Ermolenko's on the inside. So Ermolenko for the United States, Tony Rickardsson from Sweden, Hans Nielsen from Denmark. They race for the title of Grand Prix champion of Denmark. The starting marshal moves away. Hans Nielsen goes straight across from outside to in, as we've seen him do before. He's now already some 10 yards in front of Tony Rickardsson. Nielsen, Ermolenko comes through into second place. Rickardsson fades at the back. Can the Great Dane, 3 times a world champion, win the title on his home track here at Vojens? Denmark is shouting for him in the stadium. The fans are already cheering for Hans Nielsen. Sam Ermolenko, who top scored tonight, thought perhaps he could win it here, but he's not going to beat Hans Nielsen, barring accidents. Nielsen ahead of Ermolenko in second place. Rickardsson is back in third place. It'll be a miracle if this changes, because the track is now very, very wet indeed. The rain is pouring down, but Hans Nielsen won't mind that if he wins his first ever Grand Prix. He's been in all the A finals so far. He desperately wanted to win one. This is surely going to be it, as Hans Nielsen leads the Grand Prix scorers. He leads this race, and he takes the checkered flag. Hans Nielsen is the Grand Prix champion of Denmark, ahead of Sam Ermolenko and Tony Rickardsson in that order. It means it extends Hans Nielsen's lead at the top to 9 points in the Grand Prix. The fans, well, they've certainly enjoyed this. Hans Nielsen has enjoyed it. Peter Collins, he did it right from the tapes and did it well, didn't he?
Oh, he did, Tony. We've seen the maestro again, haven't we? I think he's made the start in every single A final that we've been to, and that was no exception. What a jet-propelled start this time from gate 4 on the outside. Look at that. He lifts the front wheel. His front wheel is hardly turning at all. Playing with a clutch. He's got his legs right back over the back wheel for maximum grip. When he gets to the corner, he's a complete bike length clear. And in these tricky conditions, that's a real big advantage for him. And he's good enough. He's been around for so long. He knows that that's going to be good enough for him to sort of take this win. And once he's clear, I don't think he's going to let anyone get near him. And he's using all that grip and all the sort of patches on the track, and he's there, first place, marvellous.
And his friends are there to celebrate. His mechanics are there to celebrate. Let's face it, 3/4 of the stadium are from Denmark, and they're all going to enjoy this one. Hans Nielsen looks as if he's even enjoying the handiwork of the mechanics, and I'm sure he'll reflect on that checkered flag, the wave with the left hand, the honours, the champion, the Grand Prix champion of Denmark is Hans Nielsen. 3 times he's taken the world title, and there he is on the rostrum once again. The champagne flowing, Hans Nielsen, Tony Rickardsson on his right, Sam Ermolenko on the left. Hans has even got time for a drink. He's deserved that one. It's still raining, but he can reflect on how he finished ahead of Sam Ermolenko and Tony Rickardsson. Hans Nielsen, at last, 5 meetings, the 5th one, you've won one.
That's right, about time. I feel that, you know, things haven't been going quite my way in the finals before. Today, you know, it went well for us in the heat, which it's done for me in the previous rounds, but like Sam, obviously, and, you know, he didn't win it, but he was probably the best during the heats, like I have been in others. But I have then a little bit of luck in the final. I think it was good that the gates was fairly equal, so it didn't really matter whether you were top score or not. And I'll make a super one from the outside, and I'm very pleased about it.
Great start indeed, and Hans wins one. 89 points then to Hans Nielsen. Tony Rickardsson in 2nd place on 80 points. And that's how they're going to go into Hackney, remember. Chris Louis stays 3rd with 70 points. He's going to try and do it, no doubt, in his home Grand Prix. Sam Ermolenko faded on the night. Well, not by much, but enough, on 65 points. He is Billy Hamill, 65 also. Thomas Golob, 64. Just dessert, some might say, for him in the A final. And Greg Hancock on 62. Mark Laram on 60. Henke Gustafsson has 57 behind him. Tommy Knudsen on 56. Kay Boyce, 50. And Marvin Cox on 48. Andy Smith, 35. Gary Havelock, 32. Jan Stackman on 21. Peter Carlson on 16. Riss, 16. Carlson, 13. That's Michael Carlson. Darius Sledge on 10. Josh Larson, just 6. And Leitner has 6, bringing up the rear after round 5 in the Grand Prix series. Well, certainly a very exciting evening all round there, I think. Now, I think what we have to talk about here is Thomas Golob first, Simon Wigg, took himself out and very